From the moment she walked into Jefferson High, the students whispered about her. Ms. Carter, the new English teacher, was young, soft-spoken, and seemingly fragile, a perfect target for the school's notorious group of bullies led by Jason Miller. They'd broken every substitute teacher who dared enter their class. But Ms. Carter wasn't like anyone they'd met before. The tension started on her very first day. Jason and his gang, Ryan, Chris, and Emma, made sure she knew who ran the school. They threw crumpled papers at her, mocked her in front of the class, and even scribbled insults on the whiteboard before she entered. The other students, too scared to speak up, just watched silently. Ms. Carter, however, didn't react the way they expected. Instead of yelling or sending them to the principal, she calmly smiled and continued teaching as if nothing had happened. That calmness irritated Jason even more. It felt like she wasn't afraid of them, and that wounded his pride. The bullying escalated. One morning, they locked her classroom door, leaving her standing in the hallway as students laughed from inside. Another day, Ryan, accidentally, spilled coffee over her lesson plans. The group was determined to make her quit, just like they'd done to 3 teachers before. But every time, Ms. Carter cleaned up the mess, fixed her papers, and carried on with her lessons. Her calm demeanor only fueled their determination to finally break her. The breaking point came during a Friday afternoon class. Jason stood up mid-lesson, smirking, and challenged her. "You think you're tough enough to handle us? Bet you can't last a month." The class erupted in laughter, expecting Ms. Carter to lose her composure. Instead, she looked directly into Jason's eyes and said softly, "I don't need a month. Give me 60 seconds. Everyone fell silent. Even Jason was caught off guard. 60 seconds for what? He sneered. To make you see yourself, she replied. She walked to her desk, opened a small box, and pulled out a faded photograph. It was of a boy, no older than 14, bruised and crying in a school hallway. "This," she said, holding up the picture, "was me." The class shifted uncomfortably. Ms. Carter's voice didn't tremble, instead, it grew stronger. She explained how she'd been mercilessly bullied through school, how she spent nights wishing she could disappear, and how teachers had failed to protect her. She looked straight at Jason. "I know every trick you're trying because I survived it. But I won't let you break another teacher the way they broke me. I became one to stop this cycle, for every kid sitting here too scared to speak up." For the first time, Jason's smirk faded. Ms. Carter walked closer, her tone unwavering. "You think hurting others makes you powerful. But it's just pain you haven't faced. In 60 seconds, I see a boy who's more afraid than anyone in this room." Jason's fists clenched, but his face betrayed him. He was trembling, not with anger, but with recognition. Ms. Carter placed the photo gently on his desk and whispered, "You don't have to be the bully they made you." The entire room was silent. Jason's friends looked at him, expecting him to lash out, but instead, he lowered his head. Ryan shifted uncomfortably and muttered, We were just messing around." Ms. Carter didn't scold them or gloat in victory. She simply nodded and said, "Then let's start over." In those 60 seconds everything changed. Jason apologized, not just to Ms. Carter but to classmates he had tormented for years. Slowly the group began helping her in class instead of sabotaging her. Weeks later Jason even stayed after school to talk with her about his own struggles at home, an absent father and constant fights with his mother. Ms. Carter listened without judgment, offering guidance he'd never received before. The challenges didn't vanish overnight. Other students were skeptical, wondering if Jason's change was real. Even Ms. Carter had nights where she doubted whether she'd made the right choice standing up to them. But over time the classroom transformed. Where there was once chaos, there was now respect. Bullies who once mocked her now defended weaker students. By the end of the school year, Jason stood at the podium during a school assembly and said, "We tried to break Ms. Carter, but she's the one who fixed us." The crowd erupted in applause, and for the first time Ms. Carter felt that the pain she once endured had finally found a purpose.